Hello, everyone. Welcome to Shaper Sessions. My name's Jake,
And I'm Russ.
and today is one of my favorite sessions.
Third annual session for this one.
Yeah,
Yeah, 3 in a row. And we're going to be talking today about holiday gifts with Origin. We've got our favorites that we've pulled from ShaperHub and we'll show you. And we've also got a nice little demo on how to make a customized bottle opener for your loved ones.
we're going to be using Studio, Workstation, Origin. It's going to be a great
The
session.
whole package.
The whole package.
So, reminder for everyone, please ask questions as we're doing this live stream. Ask those in the chat below. We're actually taking the day off today, so we're going to be answering questions just in the chat today, but we're also still going to be doing that giveaway that we usually do as well. Answer the poll question that pops up at the bottom of your screen. That's going to be, what holiday gifts have you made with Origin? Answer that question in the poll, and you'll be entered to win our giveaway, which we'll give away in the chat this time rather than at the end of the show like we usually do. And what are we giving away today, Jake?
We're going to do some premium project plans for the T-Rack because that makes an excellent gift. We're going to do a 8mm collet, and we're going to do a T-shirt.
Perfect. Lovely. Great. So holiday gifts, this is a hopefully fun and enjoyable time part of the year, so we're going to try and keep it lightweight. We've had a couple heavier sessions lately, so we're just going to kind of bop through it, show you guys some fun stuff.
It's a fun one, too, because we get to praise what everyone out in the community has made. All the wonderful things that you've submitted to ShaperHub and, pick some of our favorites for gifts. And, now is the time where you go through that giant pile of scrap that you've been saving all year and turn it into gifts.
Absolutely. And the bottle opener that we're going to show you today is a really good one for that. It's nice and compact. You can kind of make it whatever size you want.
Yeah.
So before we get too deep into that, let's cover a couple of announcements. First off, our latest software update for Origin is public as of now. That went out November 21st. So if you haven't yet, make sure you connect your Origin to Wi-Fi. You're going to have a little blue dot show up at the upper right corner of your screen, and that is going to prompt you to update to our latest free system update, Jenner, if you haven't already.
Yeah, got to do that. It's definitely worth it.
And we've also got AutoPass, our first paid extension for Origin. We're going to be covering that one in depth in a couple of weeks. We'll do a whole show on that. I think that's December 15th. But if you're anxious to give it a spin and play with it before we can show you in depth, please go ahead and sign up for that, download that. That's also available as of November 21st. And we think that that's going to be a great benefit for your productivity and ease of use with Origin. It's going to be a really good time. What else do we have to announce today, Jake?
Well, we are in the midst of a promo.
That's a big one.
That's a huge one. So, started already and runs till December 23rd is our promo season. So we got a couple of big giveaways that are happening. If you buy Origin, you're going to get free shipping. You're going to get 2 free classes with me. We're going to get you running with Origin in 2 days. You're going to get a roll of 2-inch tape, 2-inch double-sided tape, a must-have for all your projects. You're going to get a bit kit, which is your 3 essential bits,
an additional nice micro sustainer,
an additional 3 bits.
And you get there's so much we lose track. You get the bundle discount as well when you order Origin with Workstation or Plate. But that's not all.
Yeah.
This is a long-running promo, so you might ask, well, why should I be engaged with this now at all? And that's because we have a Black Friday special going on from now until November 28th. And so from now till November 28th, if you make an order with us that's over $50, you're going to be sent a free printed hardware catalog. And now all of this information is available for free on ShaperHub, but it's really cool and a nice reference to have in your shop. So maybe let's actually show one of these pages off on the Origin cam.
Sure.
Just so that you can see the quality that's in here. We've got some nice illustrations so that you can breeze through here and learn about some new hardware. We've got a QR code that takes you to the website to sync those templates with Origin. And we've got some of that information in there as well that's going to teach you how to use that hardware for your projects. And we've got hinges, connectors, all kinds of things in here.
Really handy to have on hand. We're also doing something really cool for the first time.
Yeah.
everybody that's an Origin owner?
Everybody.
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 But this is the first time that we've done a discount for current Origin owners during a promo, so this is kind of new. Everybody
Yes.
gets 15% off accessories. Now, that doesn't include workstation and plate, but that does include our spendier router bits, including the big 16mm roughing bit, the long 8mm. We've got collets in there. We've got new tape. We've got 1-inch double-sided tape, along with the 2-inch double-sided tape. We've got a lot of really great new accessories now. And that is a great segue. I think we planned it this way into, I feel like we're just going on and on here. But the last awesome thing about this promo, and again, this last part is free for everyone.
Yes.
We're releasing for the very first time a series of masterclasses. And we've got 4, 4.5, 5, depending on how you count them, masterclasses. 4 really awesome masterclasses from external folks that are really well known in the woodworking world. We've got in the US, we've got Roland Johnson, who's going to teach you about hand planes, building a block plane gallery, restoring and using antique planes, and how to select wood for your projects.
I've always said the real...
Are we playing that now?
I heard it.
Did you hear that in the monitor?
I heard it.
Okay, that might have been... okay,
Roll
we're going to
it.
keep it rolling. We'll show you that cool video from Raleigh in just a second. And who else do we have, though?
We have Matt.
Masterclasses?
We have Matt Kenny. People here in the States. We have Matt Kenny, who is an expert box maker and furniture maker. That's going to dive into a very beautiful box project that he's made for us.
Yep. We've got Christoph Neu, who's a guitar builder in Germany. And then we've also got Johanna Rowe, who is going to teach you marquetry. And then last but not least, this is related to the 15% off accessories. Just last Tuesday, our coworker Andy over in Stuttgart recorded his own masterclass on all of our new router bits that we launched this year, what their ideal applications are, and not just the new router bits that we've launched, but kind of a framework for understanding router bits as a broader category. So that was recorded on Tuesday. That's going to be available for everyone. I highly encourage you to go watch that. To find these masterclasses, you're going to go to shapertools.com/Roland-Johnson-masterclass. And don't worry, I'm going to put that link in the comments below while you're watching this video, so that you can find that easily without having to remember that I said that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think Goose has that Raleigh teaser pulled
Little
up.
teaser
so
video for
we
you.
should show that one, and then we'll show the Matt Kenny video as well. So let's get those rolling.
I've always said the real true metal of a good craftsman is not that they don't make mistakes, it's that nobody ever sees their mistakes. Hi, I'm Roland Johnson. I've been a writer and woodworker for the better portion of my working career. I guess what I've been doing for the last 15 years, almost 20 years, is emphasis on woodworking education, bringing it to the masses, getting people involved in woodworking. I want to talk a little bit about wood movement, moisture content. These are really important things because wood moves. And what we're going to talk about is the low angle block plane. This is your power hand, this is your steering hand, this plants it. It's something you can do with a minimal number of tools. Woodworking really it's an amazing, amazing journey, and I really have enjoyed the trip.
Super fun.
I love
And
that.
yeah, we can just roll right into that Matt
Yeah.
Kenny video as well. Let's get that going.
You can see the difference between something that's made with love and care and something that's just made. Creativity is it's a fire, it's a drive inside you, right? And if you don't find some way to channel that, it can become quite destructive. Hi, I'm Matt Kinney, and I'm a professional box maker and furniture maker. I look at woodworking as an expression of my humanity and expression of my creativity. I just start with one thing and I draw it, and then I ask myself, how can I change it in one way? Design is an evolution. It's never a revolution. What really matters is the creative act, and that tools, especially good tools, become a really fantastic way to allow you to be creative.
That's really great.
I'm so excited to watch both of those all the way through.
Yeah, this is
I've been holding off.
hours. I just want to reiterate how cool this is. This is hours of awesome instructional content that is relevant for everyone, not just Origin users. And again, it is completely free. Anyone who's already on our email list will have links sent to them. You've probably already gotten one for the Raleigh video already. And if you are not on our email list, just follow the link that I mentioned earlier or sign up for that on our website, and those links will be sent to you for that masterclass. And it's incredible, incredible instructional content.
Yep.
It's free. You don't have to buy anything. We love when you buy things because it lets us keep making awesome stuff like this, but you don't have to. Let's show off this box. Jake made one.
So the box from Matt Kenny that he walks through in his video is gorgeous in its simplicity, but it is by no means easy to make.
This is our first holiday gift,
Yeah,
by the way.
exactly.
We're rolling into this holiday gift segment. This is a holiday gift for someone you really, really love.
Yeah. And I would say, like, it's the beauty of it is in its simplicity. It has a small reveal on the bottom, you can see. And there we go. That's a better camera angle.
That lid just props itself right up.
Yeah. And it falls into a slot. So it's not a hinged box. It falls into a cut dado slot into the sidewall
It's really simple and tasteful.
with a nice alternating finger joint, box joint.
Yeah, finger joint, kind of playfully spaced. They're not just your normally spaced box joints that you get with, for example, our on-tool box joint generator. These are a little more delicate. They're a little bit reminiscent of tastefully made dovetails, right?
Yeah. And just following along and being able to fine tune this box to where it just fits beautifully together is such a satisfying act, and it makes a wonderful gift. I believe he goes into also how to do, he does a liner in it that I haven't done, but I will do. I have to make a shooting board.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I've wanted to make a shooting board for our shop for a long time, so I'm really looking forward to you doing that for us. Thanks, Jake. So that's a really great gift for someone you love a lot. I also want to show off, we're giving away the project plans for this T-Rack as part of our giveaway today, and we've got it back here behind us. We launched this premium project early this year, and this is Phil Morley's T-Rack. We did some videos with him. He helped us develop a premium project, which teaches you start to finish. There's something like 80 steps on how to build this project, start to finish. And really, even if you're a beginner woodworker, if you're patient enough, you can follow along with the directions and you'll come out with something like this.
Yep. You got everything from wedged tenons on the side to, he goes over how to hand shape this, I believe he calls it a thumbnail profile. Mm-hmm. It's a really tasteful, not chamfer, but just subtle curve to all the edges. And there's a couple different ways to do that, but really wonderful project, great gift.
For a very loved one. And
yeah.
We're at the point where I think I can show off a couple of these online now. So
yeah, let's hop into
it. These are some nice tasteful photographs here of the T-Rack premium project on ShaperHub on our web interface here. And you can read this about the project. We've got some nice photos there, but I want to show you also, if we look in my premium list of projects, that 47 steps. I was exaggerating a little bit, but they are very detailed. We'll go into this, and this is that step that Jake was mentioning earlier, shaping the side, shelf, and bracket thumbnail profiles. So he teaches you actually a few different ways to do this. This picture shows a spoke shave, but you could also do this with kind of a wide radius following round over bit on a router table or with a plunge router.
Yeah.
So that's also really cool. I learned a ton from doing this project and following Phil's steps. So it's actually not just a great gift, but it was kind of a gift to myself.
Totally.
Just the process of being able to do the project and learn from it.
And if it makes you go out and buy a spoke shave for yourself, that's something too.
That's something. Yeah, that's something. A little gift for yourself. We've got a couple more gifts that we selected this year and pulled up to show you. This is a really fun, quick, and easy one. Got a lot of new children in my life, in the family and in the friend circle lately, I feel like, and so this giraffe push toy here kind of spoke to me. Pretty cool that you can just route out this profile here. There's a link to the wheels that the ShaperHub user found online that you can purchase, and this is a pretty classic kids toy. Just push the little giraffe around.
Keep in mind when you're making kids toys, you want to make sure you finish it in something food safe, because everything goes in their mouth. So
yeah, what would we say for that? Like linseed oil?
I would say just mineral oil, honestly.
Mineral oil.
Yeah,
okay.
just something food grade mineral oil.
Yeah, absolutely. No Osmo here.
And love this one.
Yeah, here we go. This is a more complex one.
But not too complex.
Not too complex. Leia Amick has made a few projects with us, and she spent a long time and a lot of work developing this very cool adjustable 3-legged plant stand. So, I'm actually always a little self-conscious giving someone a plant stand because I don't know if it's going to precisely fit their pot. And being the meticulous craftsperson that I am, I don't want to give somebody a plant stand that doesn't exactly fit their pot. I've actually gone so far as to make plant stands and then buy pots specifically to go with the plant stands that I've given people so that you get that perfect fit.
But
and
not a
with
plant.
this project, you don't have to. And the plant.
And the plant?
Too. Yeah, and the plant. Full package. But with this project, you can forget the pot, you can forget the plant, because this will fit any pot that your friend or family or loved one or whoever already has in their house.
Not to mention it comes with a really lovely PDF on how to build it.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a really cool one. We've made a lot of these here. Yeah, let's click through some of these photos. You can see that adjustment mechanism there with those really tasteful brass thumb screws, and there are some threaded inserts in these stretchers. Really cool joinery that uses, I don't know, what would you call that? Like a half lap joint with almost like a dowel-esque attachment to it to pull it all together. Makes it actually really quite easy to glue up. I just kind of pressed it together and it all goes in exactly where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And here you can see that flat packed in the 3 parts. So if
That's something too.
That's actually really something,
If
you're shipping this across the country, then it's flat packed, and that's actually really convenient. I didn't think about that until we started recording. Here we are. So that's a good one. This is a Jake pick here.
I love these things. Mm-hmm. They're just so great.
Mid-century modern Googie style atomic picture frames. And what this reminds me of is a drive-through or an old fast food establishment. It also kind of reminds me of, you remember the cartoon Rocko's Modern Life?
Yeah.
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 Kind of a throwback to that in a way.
That or Jetsons or...
Yeah.
Anyways, I always think picture frames. I think last year we did a picture frame. Our holiday session was on picture frames. I think they're a great gift. They're usually pretty quick to make, and
you can put yourself in them.
Exactly.
So that people don't forget where the gift came from. If you roll that way, or you could give the person a nice photograph of themselves if you're a photographer or something like that. Yeah, that's a little nicer actually.
Really love this one.
Here, Jake, here's a picture of me to put on your wall. So this has those frames, and then you can see over here in the included files, it also has the backs. So you cut the frames in a couple of different steps. You put the backs on, and it's got a really clever keyhole. So you could make that with the T-slot router bit that we started selling this year.
Yes, you could. And you can cut the acrylic if you wanted to do a acrylic front.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very nice. All right, we've got a German project here, a knockbox for espresso. So this one I think is cool for a couple reasons. A, it illustrates our international audience. We have a lot of European users on ShaperHub, so if English isn't your first language, there are still projects for you, especially if you like to work in German. But the other thing that I liked about this one that we haven't talked about in kind of a long time are these really neat, it's kind of hard to see, but almost like box or dovetail digital joints here on this 90-degree corner. And that's something that's really fun to do with Origin. That's something that's really difficult to do with any other tool. We don't talk about it very much, and I don't really know why. because it's kind of a heavy digital lift if you haven't designed a file like this before. But
True.
when you go to ShaperHub to sync these files to your origin, all of that work is already done for you. It's ready to go.
Yeah.
Just prep your material to the right dimensions.
This is one of those projects I like because it wouldn't necessarily be possible by hand. And I always like making projects with Origin that, well, I used to do it a lot more. Now I'm kind of like hybrid in between. But being able to do joinery that's just like impossible to do by hand
Yeah.
is super satisfying because people will look at it and be like, how
How'd you do that?
did... Yeah. So
That's pretty cool.
for your espresso lover in your life, make him a knockbox.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and last but not least, this is a fun one. This is going to be our demo for today, a bottle opener. And so this is just a bottle opener that we found on ShaperHub. A different user had made these files for these. We found ours on Amazon, but they're pretty classic stamped steel bottle opener tabs. And you can see that it's already customized with the user's name, their Noble K. And so they put their name on this. I don't have any nobles in my life, but I do want to use this file and update it to be customized for someone in my life.
Yeah.
You know? And with Shaper Studio, we haven't talked about this import and remix capability, but it's really powerful and it's really, really cool. And I want to show you all how that works. It couldn't be easier. The first thing that I'm going to do is sync to my files, and that's going to save this project to my files in ShaperHub. So if we go over here to my files, you'll see, oh, I sorted by name. I want to sort by date. Here we go. Bottle opener 2. That's because I've made a couple of bottle openers in preparation for the show, but this is the one that was just synchronized here. And if we look at that, this is that same project. You'll see that the file that they uploaded didn't actually have their name on it. They put Shaper on there, but that's okay. What we're going to do is go into Shaper Studio here. I've already named this Bottle Opener Remix because that's what we're doing. We're kind of remixing this project from ShaperHub. I'm going to import from my files. We're going to click on Bottle Opener 2, and I'm going to import this SVG. Now, this interface is a little bit updated probably from last time that you may have seen it. We updated just the terminology on this. Do I want to import these shapes all together, or do I want to import them exploded, which means that every individual path is going to come in separately. And because I want to remove this text and add my own text, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit place. And now you can see what I can do here is I can select that S, I can select the H, A. It broke all these shapes out, so I do have to delete them individually, but that's actually, what I wanted. There's not really a way for this to know what is a group of letters and what's not, so better that I can delete these letters and then replace them with something else. To replace them, I'll just add text. Let's make one for Goose. I love making stuff for Goose on the show. We can select a font of our choice. Goose is a classy designer type, so we're going to use this sans serif font. We'll make this 1 inch tall. That fits perfectly right there. And this looks a little bit biased up, so I'm just going to use my down key to shift it by just a couple of pixels. There we go.
Boom.
That's a bottle opener for Goose.
There you go.
Customized, easy peasy.
And that bottle opener hardware, I mean, we got them on Amazon.
You can get them on Rockler. You can get them kind of anywhere. You might even be able to get these at Home Depot. Like, don't quote me on that one, but
it's literally
they're
just
pretty
a piece
ubiquitous. Yeah.
Pretty cheap. And again, when we're talking about quick, easy, fun, personalized gifts made out of scrap wood that you have laying around, it kind of elevates it.
So we get ahead of ourselves and end up taking it to the next level here on this show. So, like, this is cool and all, but I did spend a little bit of time earlier today making a more complex bottle opener. So we'll open up this recent project, bottle opener, give it a minute to load here. And this is what we're going to be cutting today for our demo. And I want to show you just a couple of quick things in Studio before we get to that. So one of the really powerful functions of Studio is called Shapeshifter. And you could make a lot of this with OnTool CAD with Origin. This shape is more or less what we'd call a rounded rectangle when you round the four corners to match so that the radius matches actually the height of the rectangle. Then we could call it like a pill shape or a lozenge, for example. But you can make that on Tool. What you can't do on Tool is this taper. So you see how it tapers from the left to the right. And these circles over here are the insert for the bottle opener stamped steel insert itself. And this is a really cool demo. I just want to show you guys how you can do that in Studio, because the more shapeshifter demos, the better, in my opinion. So the way that this works is we're going to start by making our fundamental shapes. And this is going to be a circle on each end, a rectangle tying them together, and then we're also going to add a couple of triangles to get that taper. Then we're going to take the segments of those shapes that we want in the shapeshifter menu, select them, and then use that to build the shape that we're actually trying to get. So I just made a circle there. All of these shapes are over here in Make Shape. I'm going to make a rectangle to match that's the height, 2.25 inches tall. And let's make this isn't going to come out exactly the same as the last one, but let's make that 7 inches long. And with Snap, it makes it really easy to just line those two shapes up next to each other. Now what I'm going to do is make a triangle. A triangle is a polygon with 3 sides. We're going to break the link between width and height here. We're going to call that 7 inches tall to match the length of our rectangle. And let's call that a ½ inch wide. Okay? And we're going to rotate that negative 90 degrees because you can see the direction of the arrow going here. We want to rotate it the other way so that the point is toward the left. So we'll do negative 90 here. Okay, we're going to take this, and again, snapping makes that really easy to bring that and snap it in place. We can just duplicate that triangle, bring it down here, and I want to make another circle for the other end. So that's going to be 2.25 minus 0.5 is 1.75 inches in diameter. We'll bring that to snap. And so this is the preview of our shape. These are all of the lines that we're going to use to shapeshift this to make that taper. Shapeshifter's down here. We just select the parts that we want to keep. You could either keep your earlier shapes or you could get rid of them in the process. In this case, I don't want them, so I'm going to not toggle that switch. Make shape. And this one ended up a little bit longer. I think I did the rectangle on the earlier part 6.5 inches rather than 7. But that is kind of fundamentally how you make that tapered shape.
Very cool. I take that whole concept too and apply it to tapered legs.
Yeah.
For small tables or sideboards or whatever it may be. That was really cool. That's
Thanks,
what I've
Jake.
been wanting to see.
Yeah, right on. So I heard there was one other thing that you wanted to see in this design before we go ahead to actually cut it.
Yes. This has got a really witty phrase on it, and I want to be able to put it on the fridge
There we go. Okay.
with some magnets.
Okay, so tell me what you need. I think we want some circles to glue some magnets into. So I'm going to pull up a circle here.
We need magnets that are...
Jake's going to get the magnets and a caliper, I think?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to say they're 0.4.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then if you tell me otherwise, I will update this. So I'm going to take this circle, just drag it right there. I think that's kind of a nice spot. Kind of similar to how I did with the triangles. I'll duplicate that. And I'll drag this magnet that's centered, lined up with everything. We'll drag that right there, and that's 0.4 as well. What do you think?
I think 0.4 is going to be perfect.
0.4, nice. And now if you look at this design, you might see that Some things are on top of each other. We're cramming two sides of a design into just one file here. So you can imagine the text on the top side of this finished part, and you could imagine the bottle opener and the magnets on the underside of this finished part.
Yeah.
So I've pre-planned a lot of this. We do need to fix the plan for these new circles because it defaults to an outside cut. So let's change that to an inside cut. How deep do you want that, Jake?
I want them 0.1.
0.1 inches deep. And what's cool about that is that's going to come over into the tool with depth encoding. We'll select that bit diameter so that we can preview, and we'll do the same thing. 0.1 1/4 inch bit diameter. And let's review this. Let's see kind of what it's going to look like. This is tricky because it's going to show us both sides of the part at the same time. So it's going to override some of that text. This is not how this will actually look over here. But I could see if I visualize the bottom side, which has the bottle opener and the magnets, that looks great. If I visualize the top side that has the text and won't have this cut out, that looks great. And I've got my outside cut. So I think we're ready to send this over to the tool to cut. It should be saved as bottle opener. So what do you think, Jake?
Bingo. I'm on tool now. I've already made my grid. I'm going to start off with a bottom left grid. And this is important because we're doing a flip cut, which we'll go over on how to do. Bottle opener. There we go. Make sure I grab that bottom left anchor.
Oh, and one thing that I didn't mention, this is important, is that I did draw a guide rectangle
Yes.
around this shape so that it was really easy for Jake to match that to his material stock and to his grid, so that it's
good
easy
practice
to flip.
too.
So
Yeah.
we could see that that doesn't come up in review mode because it's not a cut, but if we look at that in plan mode, you can see this blue line rectangle around the shape. That's that guide box.
Yeah.
It's really handy.
It helps in designing too because you can make your stock, you square it up, you measure 2.5 by 9. You make a box that is that shape. It's going to help with alignment, but it's also going to help you just like visualize what your canvas is to design in.
Yeah, proportions.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, I have some engraving to do.
Okay.
I went ahead and bumped up my auto speed, so
Just let her rip.
just going to hang on tight.
Okay. Step off to the side here so that my mic doesn't get blown out by the router. We'll just go over quickly Jake's, we'll call it technique for engraving here. What he's doing is using a lot of auto mode and moving the router by hand as little as possible. And what that does is, for small things with a lot of turns in their path like this, that really helps you stabilize origin, and it helps you get the best line quality out of the tool that you can. The other trick that we used for this, sometimes when you engrave really small letters, it can leave a small cusp on the inside of the letter that you don't want. And so what we did for these small letters is these are actually inside cuts rather than the online cuts that we typically recommend for engraving. And that's so that the engraving bit moves just a little bit to the inside of that fine script, and it prevents you from getting those little cusps that they're just ugly, Hate to say it, but we don't like them. And so this blows those out, and you get closer to a nice flat bottom shape. When we get to the letters for beer, we're going to do those as online cuts because those letters are nice and big, so there's plenty of room. And if we wanted to take more care with this, we could use something like a 1/16 of an inch flat and square router bit. Just humming along here. While we've got this break, I want to remind everyone that we are doing Q&A for this show. Jake and I are taking the day off, but we are answering everybody's questions in the chat. I think we've got Ted in the chat today, and this is kind of circular because I'm recording myself saying this, but I am going to try to be in the chat this Black Friday answering questions, even though you're watching me on the screen. So
please please ask your questions in the chat, and also answer the poll question that pops up at the bottom of your screen to be entered to win our giveaway. Today we're giving away plans for Phil Morley's T-Rack, pass to that premium project. We're giving away a roll of 1-inch double-sided tape, and I think we're also giving away an 8mm collet, which is a really awesome one. It allows you to use some of our newer, larger router bits that we just started selling this year in our accessories store. Speaking of accessories store, don't forget that we just recorded a live stream with Andy, kind of a masterclass on router bits, what they are, everything that goes into their design, understanding them, and then a deep dive into the router bits that we sell on our accessories store. And we've also got this great 4-part masterclass series, including Roland Johnson, Matt Kenny, Johanna Rowe, and Christoph Noy, on a ton of really interesting topics that are free for anyone who's on our email list. Just make sure you subscribe to that so that those links get sent to you. Really, really awesome information, hours and hours. Like, you could spend probably 4 hours on a Saturday absorbing all of this information once it's all out. Or, watch the shows as they come out week by week. Spend, an hour in your shop on Sunday evening learning something cool about wood movement and wood selection from Roland Johnson. They're really calming, too. Nice after a busy holiday. We do have our holiday promo going on right now. The holiday promo runs from now through December 23rd. We've got free shipping, bundle discount when you buy Origin with plate or workstation or both, 2 introductory classes with Jake that will get you started with everything that you need to know about working with Origin, free roll of 2-inch double-sided tape, a free bit kit, which is a nice set of extra router bits and a cool little micro sustainer, and additional Black Friday deal until November 28th, and this is a deal for everyone. You get 15% off all accessories in our store, and for orders over $50, a printed hardware catalog. Now, that hardware catalog information is available for everyone for free on the web. It's one of the great resources that we put together for our community. Essentially, it is Shaper built and Shaper verified templates for installing some of the best and most popular hardware out there. But the printed version is really cool. It's a nice thing to have in your shop. It's kind of like we're aspiring to be the woodworking equivalent of the McMaster car catalog. We're not there quite yet, but it's pretty cool if you've ever held a McMaster car catalog in person. Great industrial supply company that puts out a really cool catalog with kind of similar, actually, grayscale illustrations. Check them out if you've never heard of them. Jake's still cruising along on this engraving. He's given me the almost done head nod. A couple more letters here is my guess. Again, really leaning heavily on auto mode here. This is where Origin kind of acts even more like a autonomous CNC machine than something that you have to drive around by hand. Jake, yeah, here we go. Okay, I think we're wrapped. Jake's given me the, oh boy, we're almost done look.
There we go.
Okay.
Whew. That was fast. Or,
Yeah.
that was a fast auto.
It was cruising. It looks good. Let's look at that on that Origin cam.
Handy
Or
dandy
the,
brush.
workstation cam, I should say. Hard to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Well, we got to peel it up and flip it so that we can cut the other side.
Ooh, speaking of which, can you give me a spatula?
Oh, yeah. Okay. On it.
That was great. I was going back and forth between using auto mode and auto lock. Auto lock, for anyone that doesn't know, is before you plunge cut or as you're plunge cutting, double tap that green button. That will lock auto on, so you don't have to hold that green button the whole time, and it will just keep going. Really handy, especially if you're doing a really consistent. If you want to stay consistent, whether it be with an engraving or, thank you so much. If you're cutting brass or anything that needs like a really consistent edge, that's what auto's for. All right.
Awesome.
Show that off now on that side camera.
There we go. Nice.
Beautiful.
So what
Okay.
are we going to do next?
Now we're doing that flip cut. So we've done our engraving. Remember, we did a bottom left grid. And I'm using the same exact file, but I'm going to flip it. So I was like this, if you want to hop down to this camera. Now I'm going to flip end over end. And instead of it gridding off of this corner, I'm now using this corner. And that will give me identical registration.
Because that's the same corner that you gridded off earlier, just in a different location. It's physically the same corner, but it's not in the same place anymore.
Right. Okay, we'll double set tape.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about this too while I was cutting. I actually want to give away a roll of the 1-inch double-sided tape instead of a.
I thought that's what we were doing.
Yeah,
That's
no.
what I just
I think I
told
said
people.
T-shirt.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we're going to have to do both now. You can't tell people one thing and then take it away from them.
All right.
We'll see what we decide between now and when we actually play this show.
There you go.
And you're spacing that out a little bit from that clamping face of workstation so that you
Exactly.
don't get any interference
Yeah.
with the router bit, right? Not as important for engraving, but when we're doing the outside cut around the perimeter of this part, that's going to be really important.
Yep. I could do a new scan, or I could just add to scan because I've moved my material slightly. So I'm just going to do that so I have a more up-to-date image of where my stock is. And I do need to create a new grid. So grid, new, lower.
Mm-hmm. And this isn't a high precision part, so this is kind of a fast and loose grid using the router bit that's already in there.
Actually, I have the engraving bit in there, but
Really?
I choked it out a little bit, so it left a lot more exposed solid quarter-inch
okay.
shank. So I
So
feel
you're
good about
planning
that.
ahead there.
Just planning ahead.
So we still have to do a router bit swap. We're going to go to that 1/4 inch, right?
Yeah. I think all I have on hand in front of me is the 1/4 inch by 1 inch,
Okay.
which is almost identical to the bit that comes with Origin. It comes in the box, just with an extra 1/4 inch of flute length.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do finish passes on up to inch thick material.
Yeah, super handy. Not for this project strictly, but you can still use it on anything thinner, obviously.
And we're gonna Z-touch. Tell the tool that I have a 1/4 inch bit in there. Gonna automatic Z-touch. Bingo.
Awesome.
So, grab that same exact file, bottle opener. We're going to go into scale, and these are our mirror buttons. We're going to mirror end over end. Grab the bottom right anchor point now, and drop it on that same anchor point as before. Voila. Now I'm ready to start cutting.
Beautiful. So what have we got? We have a bottle opener shallow pocket. We've got a bottle opener deep pocket, and then we have that outside profile.
Exactly. And
Okay.
we have encoded depths.
Super handy.
So handy. So we already, like when we were sitting at the computer, we had our calipers. We were measuring the thickness of the plates and the
Yep.
width. So we don't have to worry about it. It's all in there. It's going to tell us right here whether or not we're in the zone.
Mm-hmm.
Hover over this pocket. My encoded depth is 0.06. Same thing over here with this pocket. It's going to be 1/4 inch. Cool.
Okay.
I'm going to get going.
Cool. Let it rip, buddy.
So if you haven't heard about encoded depths until now, we did a great show on that 2 weeks ago. Go back and check that out. That's not just on encoded depth, but that's on our latest system software update, Jenner. It's our 10th system software update, named after a cute little beach town here in Northern California. And with Jenner, we've got some really awesome updates to the tool. We have manual Z-Touch, which is really handy for softer materials and smaller router bits. And then we've got depth encoding. And not just that, but we're also always working on improving the tool ease of use and stability. It is a power tool at the end of the day, so it does need to work as expected every time. And gotta say, it's pretty freaking good, but there's always under the hood stuff to be tweaked to make the cutting algorithms just that little bit better. So Jake is using depth encoding today. To learn all about depth encoding, check out that last session that we did all about it. The gist of it is that you can pre-program or save these depths into your SVG cut files. We did that today using Shaper Studio. You can also save those encoded depths using our Fusion 360 exporter if you're a Fusion 360 user. You can save those encoded depths on tool. They're saved within any workspace that you use. You can set that encoded depth on tool and save it within the workspace. Or if you're looking to get into the real nuts and bolts of it, a few of our community forum members have actually put together a really cool web tool for encoding those custom depths, encoded depths. I think the program that they've used is Affinity Designer. So if you're an Affinity Designer user, check out our community forums and learn about that tool that makes it easy to encode depth for Origin. We love our community, and we really appreciate all the things that you guys do to help make it easier for everyone to use Origin. That's a great addition to the family. So Jake's using those encoded depths. He's using that outside cut to cut the outer profile of this bottle opener. And what encoded depths are going to do for him are they're going to tell him, hey, this is your target. The target in this case, 0.72 inches thick, because this wood is 0.71 inches thick. We want to go just a little bit past that. And until you get there, it's going to say, the encoded depth icon is going to say, hey, you've got just a little bit to go, you're almost there. And then when he gets to that 0.72 inch encoded depth, as suggested by that encoded depth window that pops up in the depth tab now, he's going to get a green check mark. And that check mark is going to say, hey, all right, now you are at that correct depth. Hang out here. You do, of course, always have the option to go deeper than the encoded depth, but by default now, Origin will show a warning saying, hey, just in case this is a mistake, you're about to go past your encoded depth. Are you really sure you want to do that? And you can either override that warning. You can actually, if you're going to be doing that repeatedly, you can hide that warning until you power cycle the tool, which is really handy if you're going to be working on a thinner piece of material, or I guess actually a thicker piece of material than intended for a long amount of time. Or you could, think, hey, actually that was a mistake and I want to go back to that encoded depth. Maybe you had two overlapping pockets and you accidentally selected the wrong one. Mistakes happen to the best of us. And I think it's even happened live on our show where we've cut to the wrong depth before, and now that should be a thing of the past with encoded depths. Now, standard strategy for Origin, roughing passes and then finishing pass. The roughing passes allow you to take heavier cuts and be a little bit more aggressive. The finishing pass comes in and just cleans up that last little bit and gives you a really nice finish quality on that edge. And so Jake's coming around on that finishing pass now.
Hey, all right. Nice.
All right, let's grab our little sanding stick here and get rid of any little fuzz and do a quick test fit.
Okay, yeah, before we pop it off, you always want to do that test fit. I've been getting bad about that lately. I've been getting a little overconfident,
Yeah?
which is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. It says good things about the tool, but every
Bad
once
practice.
in a while, it's not a good habit to be in.
Okay. Let's see. I just cut this to 0. I can feel it wants to go in.
I think that's good.
I think that's good. Yeah, because we want it to be nice and snug.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to pop it in completely yet. Let's double check those magnets.
Yeah.
Again, I think we're in that press fit territory, which is what we want. And we're good.
Cool. Just a little dab of glue in there when the time comes.
Yep.
Good stuff. Yeah, let's peel that up and see what it looks like. Should have, if we did everything right, should have that text nice and centered on the inside.
There we go.
Yeah, not bad.
And that is definitely going on the fridge.
Awesome. Now, if that wasn't complex enough, right? We've been trying to push the limits of studio here. So we did kind of a cool one before the show. We were trying to figure out how to work the text into this demo and really customize a bottle opener, not just with a quippy phrase, but for a person, right? And so Jake had this great idea of what if you offset the text itself and use that as the outline. So we should do a show about how we did this.
Yeah,
at some point, because it was a pretty
cool
cool process. But I just want to show off what you can do with Studio. Let's show this off on the Origin cam.
Down here.
Yeah,
Hey.
there we
So
go.
we
Look at
got a
that.
nice clean engraved text with that offset, and then you turn it around, and voila.
And this is all shapeshifter magic. Once you get that text all laid out, it gives you a nice platform or a artboard, if you will, to place that bottle opener and the magnets. And then plan and review mode came in really handy for this also, telling us where everything was going to end up when it was done. I think that's a whole show.
I really want to press this in.
We haven't used the hammer in a while.
Oh, that's true. Well, that's not true. Goose used it to turn on a light.
Don't tell Noah.
There we go.
Yeah, all right, there we go. Nice. Perfect.
Love it.
Okay, we've talked about the promo a zillion times. Promo's happening now. More details on shapertools.com. Masterclasses are happening right now. More details for that on shapertools.com/Roland-Johnson-Masterclass, or honestly, probably just shapertools.com. We'll get you there. You'll have to do a little bit of navigating.
Yeah.
Also, check your email. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
Oh, boy. Go make some gifts.
Yeah.
Nothing says I love you or I appreciate you like a handmade gift, no matter how simple, honestly.
Yeah, seriously. That's true.
Could be a set of coasters. Really does not have to be crazy. Just that little extra
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah. All right. With that, thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers. Thanks.